Welcome back to the Mama Talk. We are your hosts today. I'm Marcus.
And I'm Jerry. We are Conyu students majoring in gender studies. We aim to portray the struggles of Chinese single mothers and their negotiation with the stigmas. In our last episode, we discovered about the teenage mothers in China. So, Marcus, what is our focus today?
So today we'll talk about the popular belief that with the overall progressive trend towards promotion of gender equality and women's rights, modernization should act to gradually eliminate the stigmatization faced by single mothers.
That view is perhaps overly optimistic, where the popularity of social media provides minority groups like single mothers with platforms to challenge and negotiate with existing stigmas. Forces counter to this goal utilize the same channels to sustain and even reinforce those stigmas.
So modernization acts as a double-edged sword, which does not necessarily alleviate the stigmas.
In this podcast, we have invited Dr. Tang, our social studies expert, to discuss with us the main existing stigmas, social and economic stigmas faced by single mothers. We will invite you listeners to share your experiences and opinions on this issue. Welcome, Dr. Tang.
Hello, everyone.
Without further ado, let's dive into the topic of gender stigma, the cultural and social judgments that single mothers endure simply for not fitting traditional roles. In China, influenced by the Confucian familism and strict family planning policies, motherhood is tied to marriage. Unwed or divorced single mothers are often seen as moral failures, bringing shame to families and facing exclusion in relationships. This stigma isn't just words, it affects their mental health, family ties, and sense of self. So now let's open up the stage for real voices. Feel free to phone in via 2543 3880 to share your views.
We have a call from May from Zhuhai. Hello, May.
Hello, Jerry. I'm a single mother from Zhuhai. I want to share my experience living with this gender stigma.
Yes, go on.
After my divorce, my family said I brought shame, like I failed as a daughter because I couldn't keep the marriage. They pressured me to remarry quickly, saying a woman without a husband is incomplete. Even neighbors whisper I'm loose for raising my child alone. It's exhausting. I feel like my worth is only as a wife, not a mom.
That's heartbreaking, mate. So, Dr. Tan, why does this happen even in modern society?
This actually ties to Chinese feminism, where women are expected to sacrifice for family harmony. Motherhood without marriage disrupts that, leading to stigma as deviant. Single mothers in Zhuhai face identity crisis because society views caregiving as a natural duty for married women only. It's not about money, it's cultural subordination, where women's roles are defined by men and elders.
Yes, exactly. My ex's family blamed me entirely, saying I should have endured for the child. Now dating, men see me as a burden, not a partner.
So the stigma reinforces patriarchal norms, right, Dr. Tan?
Precisely. The gender system privileges men. Women, like May, are penalized for agency outside marriage, facing emotional stress from these relational judgments.
Yeah, it's so unfair to us women. Society should change.
I totally agree, mate. Your experience really highlights how gender stigma isolates women, tying their failures to marriage. We see how policies and culture amplify this in mainland China. Thank you for a heartfelt sharing.
Now, we have received another call from Ling, a single mother from Hong Kong. How has gender stigma affected you?
Hello, host. The situation is quite similar in Hong Kong. My parents said unwed motherhood shames the family line, like I'm a bad example, failing my duties as a daughter. Some people judge me as irresponsible, that I'm dysfunctional for not having a husband while living at my mother's house. Sometimes I also blame myself for complicating the situation and feel like a beggar. Potential partners ghost me for being a woman with baggage. People just won't understand unless they've experienced what I've been through. What makes it worse is the fast-paced society and intensive parenting norms here. Schools dismiss my concerns as if I'm incompetent in handling things alone. It's exhausting. I often doubt if I'm good enough in parenting without a father figure.
Wow, that must be difficult. Do you have anything to add, Dr. Tang?
In Hong Kong, colonial history blends Western individualism with Chinese feminism, but the core problem persists: maternal sacrifice, cultural stigmas, single moms as deviating from gendered duties, leading to relational shame and identity crisis. Like in Zhuhai, family pressure to remarry fixes the deviation, causing psychological strain. The difference: Hong Kong's welfare buffers economic hits, subsidized childcare, and NGOs provide aid. But stigmas are prominent in social spheres, like school judgments or dating apps, amplifying isolation amid urban anonymity and high education expectations.
Right. My in-laws cut ties, calling me a failure for not enduring the marriage. Dating, men see the kid as a burden, and society expects me to push academics non-stop, but I'm exhausted from juggling work and home. Coming back at 6:30 just with hours to bond before bedtime fights. Without a partner, I feel I lack the authority to discipline properly. It's like I'm always the bad cop below. NGOs help with basics, but the emotional weight, crushing.
So the stigma would also reinforce patriarchal norms in Hong Kong, right, Dr. Tan?
Similarly, feminism ties worth to marriage and sacrifice in the mainland, but in Hong Kong, legal freedoms and community resources soften policy barriers. Yet, cultural persistence fuels hidden stigma, like internalized shame from intensive mothering ideals, leading to a higher risk of distress without strong informal support.
Ling, your courage inspires us. This wraps up our look at Hong Kong, showing gender stigmas persist across regions, shared feminism burdens. But Hong Kong's support networks ease finances, while relational judgments deepen emotional isolation.
Building on that context, let's dive into the economic stigma single mothers face. While the manifestations differ in mainland China and Hong Kong, the core issue remains the same. It is said that women are economically penalized for parenting outside marriage. May, could you share how economic pressures have manifested in your daily life and work?
Yes, after my divorce, I moved back to Zhuhai with my son. I had to juggle work and being a sole caregiver. As a single mother, I quickly discovered that gender stigma is common in the workplace. Many employers seem to think single mothers can't perform as well as others, so they often choose not to hire us, or just offer a salary so low it's impossible to cover the cost of raising a child. One interviewer even openly stated that they preferred candidates without family distractions.
That's outrageous. This is institutionalized exclusion. They are rejecting you not based on merit, but on some unfounded gender bias. Did the government do anything about it?
Honestly, the most shocking discrimination came from the government itself in mainland China. Before 2016, all single mothers were actually fined for having a child out of wedlock. We're talking about up to 120,000 RMB, which was an insane amount when the average salary 20,000.
This is plainly a violation of human rights. How could people accept it back then? I believe these explain why a significant proportion of single mother families in first-tier cities live below the poverty line. The economic precarity they suffer comes from gender stigma and produces serious economic stigma.
we could see that gender stigma is substantively affecting employment and financial stability of mainland Chinese single mothers. Ling, turning to you in Hong Kong, we know the legal framework differs here, but economic stigma persists. Could you tell us about the situation in Hong Kong?
The working environment May has encountered strongly resonates with me. I've also faced wage discrimination before, but luckily the problem is solved after changing to another company. However, the economic precarity is still bothering me.
May I ask why?
Apart from the city's high cost of living and competitive job market, the inflation rate of Hong Kong is extremely high. The high price rate is financially burdensome to single mothers in Hong Kong. Unlike double-income families, we are the only income source in the family.
Considering a majority of children in Hong Kong would receive tutoring after school, the fee.
Of course, it costs an arm and a leg, but it is impossible to avoid this under the academic pressure here. Many of us single mothers work extra shifts just to afford basic math and English tutoring, often sacrificing our own health insurance or retirement savings. We are not paying for luxury. We are only paying for our children's survival in a system where even free public schools expect extensive additional support.
Thank you for sharing that. It's clear that even with better legal protection in Hong Kong, single mothers face a storm of financial pressures. From the city's high cost of living to these invisible barriers in the workplace, this keeps single parents' households in constant economic precarity. Let's hope our government will reinstate the 2,500 Hong Kong dollar student subsidy. I believe that will help it.
Gender stigmas accuse single mothers for being unable to raise their children equally well because of the lack of a male authority. But the reality is that the myriad of societal pressures from gender stigmas, the institutionalized exclusion or workplace discrimination towards single mothers, are effectively inflicting financial and emotional burdens on single mothers.
Single mothers are not incapable of raising children well, not because they are incomplete without a husband, but because we as a society create more obstacles for them.
And when people see them struggle, they become more convinced about their gender bias towards them.
That is a vicious cycle. Those stigmas persist because they keep reinforcing each other.
Given the powerful forces of gender and financial stigma, a key question remains. How are single mothers in southern China using social networks to navigate and negotiate these very challenges?
And crucially, can these digital platforms truly help to dismantle the stigma they face? We will be exploring the answers to these pressing questions right after a short break.
So don't go away. We'll be back in just a moment.
Welcome back to our podcast. Back to your question on social networks, I'm sure that our audiences have been pondering upon the role of that.
During the break, our username Mommy brought up a website named Baby Kingdom in our live discussion board. It seems to be a website for mothers in Hong Kong.
That name sort of rings a bell. Let me see.
Yes, that's the one. Thank you Mommy for bringing this website to our attention. I've also received your request to join us in the podcast. Since this will serve as a good starting point of our discussion, let's talk to her now.
Hello, Mommy. Thank you for joining us. Could you briefly introduce Baby Kingdom to us?
Of course, I've been an active user on Baby Kingdom for several years. Like Ling, I'm also a local single mother, working a part-time job while taking care of my baby. This forum means a lot to me. It provides me a comfortable place to express opinions, seek advice, and look at others' comments.
This digital area provides lots of function for you. Can I describe it as an area for all the mothers to unite in?
Right, we unite strong. Apart from the internet, my friend also joined a social networking group in Shengshui, It's called You're Not Alone.
I see it. It's organized by the Hong Kong Federation of Women's Center, and it hosts meetings with single mothers occasionally. How is this group compared to Baby's Kingdom?
I think both are great. We share a great extent of autonomy since we can express ourselves and receive help from others. These social networks will definitely alleviate the gender stigmas that depict us as powerless.
Thank you very much. Another user, Dan Chin Bao Bao, wrote that she finds your case intriguing. Let's talk to her now.
Hi, this is my first time speaking. I hope it's okay.
Welcome, no worries, you're all good.
I wanted to add on to your point, Mommy. There is also a similar forum in mainland China called Bao Bao Shu. It provides similar functions like Baby Kingdom. As a working class unwed single mother from Hunan, I resonate with you in terms of that. However, I'm afraid it does not make a better situation for us. In China, there are restrictions in terms of the post content.
Do you have any examples for that?
Yes, my posts on Bao Bao Shu were removed once due to political sensitivity. I don't think it's political at all.
Oh, poor you. This reminds me of one of the pinned posts on Baby Kingdom that prohibits politically sensitive topics.
Maybe after all, my metaphor of union of single mothers should be added with a condition. That is under some rules.
Yes, I should also mention that it happens to real life too. The divorce pile phenomenon in China can be controversial because two single mothers living together could break the heterosexual family structure.
That is a very progressive way to support each other. Thank you very much for your sharing. I'm afraid our podcast is about to end very soon. Marcus, could you do a quick wrap up for today's discussion?
Sure, both China and Hong Kong are still conservative despite modernization. Despite existing limitations such as digital censorship and government endorsement of content on traditional feminism, these mothers actually retain a great extent of agency. They adopt different approaches to negotiate with the stigma, such as voicing their opinion on online forums to challenge and reject the stigma.
Yes, here we want to invite you all to think about this question. What could the state do to alleviate the stigma of single mothers in Chinese society? Thank you all again for joining us today.
Next week, we'll be continuing our discussion and shifting our focus to lesbian mothers in northern China. Please join us next Wednesday. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you soon.